Got in a couple shop cards. I'm going to show you. Got one of them from Rick Zink. He sent me a shop card, and I just got it in yesterday. A very old prescription that I had 20 years ago. I don't normally use these. I got Papa Rob. He said some kind words on the back. Fantastic channel, guys. Check him out. Very good. I wanted to show you a few things I had lined up here. The MGB I used to have a long time ago. I was doing the ones that I have in the boxes are cars that I real cars that I have. And this is one. It would have had MGB on the back, but my options weren't very good on how to put MGB back there. It came with some black license plates with silver lettering. I thought, oh, that's gonna look kind of cheesy. So I didn't do anything with that. The hood doesn't come off, and it was a curbside. So it was, the engine and everything was molded in. I think really to take this to the right level would be to build a little 4-cylinder engine that looks just like what my car looked like. That may be something that I'll do. And it was nowhere near this high. There was no gap in between the wheels, the tires and the tires and the fenders. I mean, they were up in there, and there was no option to be able to do that. This thing looks like a 4x4 truck. Yeah, mine didn't look anything like that. Then the only parts I had left for it, I put in this little box. That way, because I lost them once, and I just found them yesterday. So I put them in the box, put them in there. That way I'll have them. Then the gangster car, I think it's a 28 Lincoln. I want to get back working on that too. That was really a very nice build model. It was a kit from 1965, and it came with a couple guys. The one guy I already used. This guy here, since the kit had been open and the backs of the wheels were lost on the kit itself, the back of this guy was also lost. So I'm going to have to make my 2-part epoxy. It's this white, real thick epoxy. It must have something in it because you can sand it. Bondo would be good too, but I'd like to fill the back of him, even though it's not going to be seen that much. All the real stuff, the good stuff, is on the front. So I'm thinking about doing that there. And then on the group build, the under 1,000 subs, I was able to use a Molotov pen on the, I think that's what it is. Maybe it's a different brand. Yeah, that's the brand there, whatever that is. And it worked better than I had hoped for the valve covers. It does look more chrome than what I was thinking it was going to. It was going to be more of a chrome suggestion. So I went ahead and did the exhaust manifolds. So I'm going to use stock ones of those. I was really wanting to use my solder and make some headers for it. And I might still go that route because after all, the purpose behind it is to show what kind of modeling you're able to do. So yeah, that was, let's see, I got a flashlight. Oh yeah, very dim. Yeah. So that's this and how it's turning out. I also wanted a chance to talk about why you get into modeling when you're a kid. When I was 5 years old, I got into modeling because my dad, he was a really good builder, and he would build models with a neighbor kid. He was lived next door to us. He was about, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years older than me. And in '75 I was 8. No, I don't know. My math is horrifying. But 7, 6, 7, 8, somewhere right in there. But he was, I think, like 4 or 5 years older than me. And him and my dad would build models together. And it was the cool models. It wasn't like a stock anything. It was more like um, Big Daddy had Roth's Mysterian and stuff that I thought was the neatest looking stuff in the world, and got into modeling, and I found it more of an escape. You would build models to um, kind of escape your day to day. If you're getting hassled at school and stuff like that, you're able to build a model with your ideas, and you would take something, customize it, because I would customize models like crazy. Now I'm getting too old to where I'm 54 now, and it's almost like my imagination was fantastic as a kid, and I was able to come up with different ideas on how to customize stuff, and it seemed to really it was fantastic. It was a whole different world. But use modeling back then more of an escape, and you're able to just be in your own dreamland and come up with a really neat looking car that was cool looking. And when I was real young, I'd make it to where the wheels would roll, so I'd be able to play with them. But I found when I was 11, really being serious about modeling and had the wheels roll. Came home from school, and there I found one of them rolled off the shelf and busted on the floor. So ever since I was 11, I glue their wheels to where they don't roll. I look at them and admire them and want to play with them. Even still today, I would love to play with that model, but it's only to look at, and it doesn't really defeat the purpose, but it it gives you something to be able to look at years later. Like, oh, you didn't break it, so yeah, you get to still use it to look at it and admire it. And over the years, I've built real cars like that and did real paint jobs that I tried out first on the models, and then found that, wow, those colors really look good together. And then I incorporate that into the real life. When I was truck conversions, I was the only painter, the only guy doing the truck conversions. I don't think it's 10 years, but it's really close, that I was Renegade Truck Conversions. And I had, since my childhood, had paint colors that really went together, that came to me at the time. And I went ahead and just did some really wild trucks, and had a good time doing all that until Ford in 1999. Ford ended up offering their own truck conversions, for um, lack of a better word. They really didn't seem like conversions to me, but Centurion was good, and it was one of my uh, adversaries. There was Choo Choo. There was a lot of them. There was hundreds of them back in the '90s. Most of them out of Elkhart, Indiana, where they also do van conversions and stuff there. Um, but yeah, I had a blast doing that every day. It wasn't like work. It was more like, I don't know, it was more like a dream job. You get up in the morning and you can't wait to go in and do something really wild. And every truck, I had to reprove myself to my boss, which was really crazy. It's like, yeah, didn't the last one do fantastic? what should be the problem there. Great guy. Um, he told me, I think the first year I was there, he's like, I don't know anything about paint. He says, that's what I hired you for. Well, that was quite a compliment, but yeah, it seemed to be kind of an uphill battle with each thing that I did. He wasn't, he was always on the fence with my builds until I was done. He's, just loved them. And then he would send me all over the United States to Texas, Oklahoma, to Florida for 2 weeks. And each time it was a paid vacation. I was paid while I was there. I was, I didn't have to pay for room and board, didn't have to do any of those things. He treated me very well. I was very well treated. But I would always have to prove myself every time, which kind of surprised me because I did probably 200 Fords, I did 2 Chevys, and I did 1 Dodge. All of them were brand new. I had a fleet account with Ford, so I could order the truck in any color interior I wanted. I think I had 3 choices. And I could choose the exterior of the truck painted whatever color I wanted. So I had pretty much free reign as Renegade Truck Conversions. I had a blast doing it. The horse community, where they would do team pinning and stuff, really liked my work, and a lot of them bought, airbrush trucks. I did several. I think I did 3 of those. They did really good. But building models, that's more of an escape. That's when you can, have all sorts of stuff going on in your life, and then you can use that. These kids today, I think they play their video games, but they don't realize that they're not using their imaginations. That was someone else's imagination creating a game that only has one way to get through a maze. That's not for me. I have played video games. I haven't even touched a video game in years, 5-6 years, and even then I only played it once. So I don't mess with video games. It's the air. I can't touch it. I can't put my hands on it. I can't feel it. I can't do anything with it. With this, I can make that into whatever I want. If I want to turn it into a talking duck, I can. But yeah, kids these days, they just don't seem to have too much imagination. There's a model car guy. He's a young kid and he's working on stuff. He's got an imagination. That's the kind of stuff that these kids today really should be doing, and stuff like he's been doing. So I just wanted to touch base with you guys and give a couple of shop cards that I got in. And I was told that there's some more that are coming in. Mr. G Seeds, he sent me one. So that's going to be fantastic. Okay, guys, I don't really have too many more things to talk about, so I don't want to bore you. And I try to keep it upbeat as much as I can. And I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.